It's a week from Turkey Day. It's a normal Thursday night in November. And dare I say, playoffs? Playoffs. Looking at you after the intro, birds of a feather. Let's rock.
Let's go! This ain't the box like horses think he stinks!
Oh shit!
It's gone!
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Birds of a Feather on A2D Radio, brought to you by Fan Up. Fan Up is the best way to enjoy fantasy sports, daily NFL contests, and more. Win great prizes. Sign up today and use the promo code A2D for 5,000 bonus points, which is a $50 value. We are live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you download podcasts, we appreciate you. Comment, review, rate, all of that. It's your boy Chuck's here. Pete, Jeff, what's going on, gentlemen? How you been?
What's going on?
Oh, Pete doesn't want to say anything. Okay.
I
never know who wants to say
I was
something.
just button some things up, man. What's up, peoples? Let's stop the senseless violence, man. Young Dolph got killed yesterday. I enjoyed his music in his hometown. In a cookie shop in broad daylight, shot over 50 times. It's just,
That's a shame.
I don't understand. Like 2 minutes from his grandma's house, like everybody knew him. Imagine like this is almost like Meek Mill getting killed in Philly. I don't wish that, but that's the type of level that this is on for the city of Memphis right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's just I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
Yeah, so unfortunate news there. Prayers up and everything. And yeah, guys, be safe. Be good. All right. So today, guys, we got an action-packed show. As always, in the first quarter of our show, we are going to talk about the running back room. Who should be the lead back now that Sanders is designated to return from the IR? This is going to be a heated conversation. I already know. I'm ready, though. So that's going to be fun. In the second quarter of the show, we are going to recap the Eagles-Broncos game. That was a huge win. I think all of us predicted. No, did any of us predict win?
I said I had a feeling they were going to win the game.
Okay, yeah. So it's going to be a great game to recap, go through. It was a fun game to watch. Fun game from everyone. So tune in for that in the second quarter. And in the third quarter, we're going to go around the league, around the NFL, touch on other games this past week, talk about the game happening in a little bit, Thursday Night Football. We got the Patriots and Falcons. Any other news from around the league we're going to touch on. In the fourth quarter, toward the end, we are going to give our predictions for the Eagles-Saints game on Sunday. Who's going to come out on top? Who's going to have a big game? And, of course, to end the show and to cap it off with a bang, we are going to go no huddle on y'all and talk about anything, football, sports, anything you guys want to talk about, maybe some MCU. You got some big news coming out today, or the other day, a certain trailer was released, so maybe we'll dive into that. But first things first, guys, we have to talk about our poll question, and our poll question is brought to you by All Campus, home of A2D Rant Booth, and they're giving 20% off everything in their store, including hats, shirts, and team cornhole sets to all their subscribers. Poll question, of course, as I said at the top of the show, Jordan Howard should be the Eagles' lead running back. Agree or disagree? So let's start it off, Pete, with you. Agree or disagree to the poll is should Howard be the guy for the Eagles offense going forward? Can't hear you. Can't hear you. Pete.
Timeout. My apologies. Rookie mistake. Turn on your microphone.
I was like, he's saying something. Go ahead. Go ahead. Oh, before you go, before you start, our first quarter sponsor, before I forget, looking to buy or sell a home, looking for a change in career brokerage, contact Alan Foy of eXp Realty LLC at 302-682-8820 or visit him at alan.foy at eXp Realty. And our first comment of the night is brought to you by A2D. Oh, brought to you by Manscaped. Use the promo code A2D, get 20% off, unlock your confidence, and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. And the first comment goes to Mr. Andy Ritter. Have a great show to us. Thank you, Andy. Thank you for tuning in. We love you. All right, Pete, go ahead.
I'm just ashamed that that's our first comment. I love you, Andy, but I mean, somebody has to be Andy in the race.
All right, so let's go with Chrome. He says, "What's up, fam? Agreed to the poll. Forgot Miles was even in the roster."
Okay, listen here, my ginger brother.
Such disrespect. I think people are just trying to troll
son
me
of a bitch. You. No. So what I was saying when I had my mic off, I said, "Is there a running back named Jordan Sanders or Miles Howard? Like, is that an option? Can we combine the two?" Ultimately, just looking at it on the surface, if you want to get to the raw emotion, no, I don't feel as if Jordan Howard should be the lead back. I disagree to the poll. I take Sanders. But for those who are ready to jump on and have already said that they want Jordan as the running back, and hopefully this doesn't take any glory from anything that you guys want to say, is I don't think the definition of a lead back means the same thing as it meant 5 or 10 years ago. You feel what I'm saying? I've seen games where Nick Chubb had 100 yards in the touchdown, and I've seen games where Kareem Hunt, when he was healthy, had 100 yards in the touchdown and probably even 20 or 30 receiving yards. So this team and what we've seen in the last 3 weeks of how they made the emphasis on running the ball as setting up their identity, I can easily see Jordan Howard and Miles Sanders both having plus 75-yard rushing games, and then maybe some games, maybe some yards in the passing game as well. Once again, Miles Sanders, when on point, is the best running back on this football team. When healthy, when making the right decision, making the right reads, hitting the right holes, getting downhill, yes. I can't to frame this question, and within the 3 weeks that Miles wasn't even healthy, it's what have you done for me lately? The recency bias. Fuck, we haven't seen this offense operate at this level all year like we've seen in the last 3 weeks. So it's not even a fair shake. You're seeing Jordan Howard at not just the best of his, not want to say his peak, but in the best of he's been in the Eagles uniform in a while, but the offense as a whole. Fuck, wait till you get to my Jalen Hurts grade for this game. Oh, it's going to shock people. It's going to shock me, literally. But that's why I say I have to disagree to the poll because of the fact that I just don't put Miles and Jordan Howard on the same level. And this is the thing. The reason why Derrick Henry is at the level that he is, obviously he's hurt now, is because Derrick Henry is just different. The bitch can still run away from you and break a 50-yard run and not lose speed. And is bigger than Jordan Howard and can take contact. Jordan Howard can't do that. Jordan Howard is the Toyota Camry that can get you from point A to point B and be reliable. That's what he can do. Doesn't necessarily mean that should be a lead back. Miles Sanders is a Ferrari. You know what I mean? Does a Ferrari need a lot of maintenance? Is the bitch in the shop a lot? Is it cost a lot? Yes, it does. But guess what? The son bitch at the end of the day, when it's at its top performance, it's a Ferrari. So I don't think we have a lead back. Now, you may see Miles Sanders out there if healthy. I think he has to be activated by 4 p.m. Saturday, or he has to be completely ruled out by 4 p.m. Saturday. If he's going to play Sunday. So obviously tomorrow he won't be on an injury report. You won't see anything. But I don't know how close he is to playing. He'll probably play. You may see him out there in the first and second down, but that doesn't necessarily make him a lead back. You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of the same adage in baseball where starting pitchers to starting rotations used to mean the world, right? When the Phillies was rolling, when we had the four, when we had Doc, when we had Cliff, when we had Cole, I forget who the fourth one was. I forget who that was, but we had another starter that we had like the four horses. That meant something. That was just 10 years ago. We lost to fucking Cardinals. Damn it, Chrome, you better not say shit. Hold yourself, withhold your excitement, bitch. But it's kind of the same thing to where now starting rotations starting pitchers don't only go 3, 4, 5 innings, and then your bullpen is just as valuable. It's kind of the same thought premise. It's kind of the same thought process. Miles to get in there to get you a rhythm, or if you want Jordan to get in there to get you a rhythm, but at the same time, Sirianni is going to have to find a way for both of them to get carries. Like, there's no reason now with the emphasis on this team like it is. Fuck, run the pistol. I saw who was it? Dallas was running the pistol a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I think. They had Dak and they had Pollard and they had Elliott in the game at the same time in the backfield. You know what I mean? So you have the flexibility. I think this is a very good problem to have if they continue in the ends of how this team and this offense has been operating. So I disagree to the poll for that because I don't believe there is no fucking lead running back.
Go ahead, John.
Yeah, I agree with you, Pete. And it's good. It's a good problem to have. And honestly, like you said, in the NFL anymore, yes, Sanders is going to be considered, according to Sirianni, the starting back for the Eagles. But the way we're judging based off of lead back is how is touches and carries and how much action and snaps these guys are getting. And I'm going to have to agree to the poll right now. Like Jake said earlier in the comment,
No, Jeff, no.
Ease Sanders back into it. I want him for a playoff run. I want him fully healthy. I do not want him going out there and forcing something, risking injury, and like Pete brought before. It's what I've done. What have you done for me lately? Why would you take the ball out of the hot hand of Jordan Howard right now? I just feel the offense right now is gelling way too well with Jordan Howard and Boston Scott out of the backfield. I'm not saying take the ball from Sanders and take him out of your offense completely. Still give him his carries, still give him his touches, but I still want to see a focal point with Jordan Howard in this offense with Jalen Hurts and with Sirianni, because I felt with Miles Sanders back there that Nick Sirianni was getting way too cute. He was, and that's the reason why I felt they were running the RPO as much as they were, is because that he felt he had two dynamic players that can hit that home run at any moment, and it was kind of Jalen Hurts can't be in that position to make the right decision. As we've seen, he delays way too much, especially with the RPO from a quarterback. You cannot have that. And with Miles Sanders, I just kind of feel he's always trying to hit that home run. He's dancing too much in the backfield. We're too many times we're losing yardage. Where I feel Jordan Howard, he just hits the hole in between the tackles, and he's just trying to pick up positive yardage. I'm not saying Miles Sanders isn't the better all-around back and the better dynamic back. I'm just saying from a little bit from what I've seen this season, I feel the offense and the offensive line is blocking a little better for Howard, which I know they did not utilize Sanders for most of those games, but in the limited carries that he did get, there were still some questionable moments. So right now I'm going to say give Howard the lead, a lot of lead roles, but still get Miles Sanders some make sure he gets those carries.
So let me ask you this. Late December, early January, if we are in the playoffs, who's the lead guy? Who's getting more touches?
But that doesn't change.
No, Jeff. I'm asking Jeff.
Okay, go ahead, Jeff.
In your opinion, you want to
if it's in the cold, I want Jordan Howard. If it's just in the cold, I'll give it to Miles Sanders. If it's ground and pound with the snow, with that ground and pound back, I want Jordan Howard all day pushing through that line. If it's a blizzard out there in Philly.
Okay, all right. So,
but I agree. Miles Sanders down the stretch, if fully healthy, he needs to be the starter, quote unquote.
Okay, all right, that's fair. All right, I'll give you that. So, let me preface this by saying, Jordan Howard.
Whose shirt do you have on right now, sir?
Huh? So I was gonna say it in a bit, but this was a gift to the Eagles Autism Foundation charity. Okay. I donated and they sent a Miles Sanders customized T-shirt. So it's Eagles logo, Miles Sanders signature, and on the bottom of the shirt it has like 26. You can't see it from here, but it's a great shirt. It feels comfortable too. So I donated $60 to Eagles Autism. It went to a good cause. So shirt's awesome. I like the design, but I like Jordan Howard. He's a solid back. And yes, he's a no-nonsense north and south guy. And when you need someone to just gain positive yards, he's the guy you want because he's just going to get up in there. He's going to go straight ahead and power his way through. And that's who he's been for the past couple of years.
Yes.
So he is what he is. He's a solid back. But from the moment Jordan Howard got here, so many Eagles fans have overrated him. And that's the truth. I remember when he got here, it was like 2, 3, 4 weeks into the season, and people were already claiming Miles Sanders was a bust, getting him out of here, and saying that Jordan Howard is the running back of the future. Look how that turned out. All right. Jordan Howard is a nice guy. He's a nice player, but he is not a top echelon type of back. He's not a top 10 back, not a top 15, not a top 20 back. And the fact that this whole narrative, because he's no nonsense, he's north-south, he should be the lead back because I prefer that. That's shortchanging Miles, and not even just Miles. That's shortchanging different types of running backs that you have in the league. Just because Howard goes north-south all the time doesn't mean he's better. Right. Miles, for one, this whole narrative that Miles Sanders dances too much in the backfield is totally incorrect. It's false. It's totally false. Last year, he ran in between the tackles much better. He was much more disciplined last year. Why wasn't it talked about? Because the offensive line was so banged up. So a lot of those interior runs where he was staying disciplined and trying to get 2 to 3 yards were because the offensive line didn't have good blocking. So he would try to, create if it was there, or if nothing was there, he would just get 2 to 3 yards. But people automatically assume that's him dancing too much. It's a narrative that people have because of his rookie season that's just totally incorrect. He doesn't dance as much as people think. And if you go back to the Raiders-Eagles game a few weeks ago, right before Miles got hurt, and this point is twofold. Miles Sanders got a lot of work in that first possession. He was the focal point of that game plan, that offensive game plan against the Raiders. So this whole thing of, Sirianni started running the ball when Sanders was no longer there, that's false. He started running the ball more when Sanders was there. He just got hurt, so it was unfortunate timing. And in those runs, if you see them, I put together a compilation of all the runs on Twitter and my Facebook. So go if you want to go check it out. Most of them, maybe 1 or 2 of them, most of those runs are interior runs where he bangs it up inside. And there was one really impressive run, I think it was a 9-yard run, where he swiveled his way through the second level to create because he has that ability. So he got 9 yards, whereas someone like Howard would have gotten 4 or 5. So that's Miles. Is he a power back like Howard? Of course not. But he's much better at creating for himself when blocking breaks down. And one of the biggest things when it comes to running backs that you separate the special talents from the ordinary guys are the guys who know how to create yards for themselves when blocking breaks down. When there's nothing there, they are able to make a play out of nothing. And Miles is the best at it amongst this group, hands down. There's not even it's not even a debate. That all being said, I said it in the offseason, this past offseason. Miles is not a 20 to 25 carry guy. He shouldn't be. He should be getting 15 to 20 total touches between carries and catches. Kind of like what Kamara gets in New Orleans as a all around.
He may not play Sunday, by the way.
He might not play. Yes, correct. So he should be getting that many touches. But if we're a run first team, if Miles is getting 15 to 20 touches, that still leaves so many more touches for everyone else, especially Jordan Howard. Miles and Jordan Howard should be the 1 and 2. They absolutely should be the 1 and 2. You have to use both. If you're a run first team, you have to use both. And you also could use Scottsdale or Gainwell, one of them. So Miles and Howard have to be your 1-2. You have to be able to incorporate both of them into the game plan. They have to be used, both of them. That's the thing. So even though Miles should be the lead because he's your best running back, that doesn't mean Howard shouldn't be used at all. On the contrary, Howard absolutely should have a role. He just isn't the better guy. He's not the better talent over Miles.
So, yeah, obviously when you talk about talent, Miles is more talented. I agree with you 100%. But once again, when you talk about, I can see the other side where people say that, listen, need a running back that's going to read the hole, get downhill, get positive yards, not dance, and you can get that at the same time. But like I said, Jordan Howard is looking so good, and he's benefiting from the offensive line is playing their best stretch of football they've had this season. You know what I mean? Miles Sanders hasn't ran behind that. He did look good in that first quarter against Oakland before going down. We don't know what would happen there. And also, I want to say this. Now, obviously not the fan that's commenting now. We appreciate you rocking with us as always. Even we got the on-air talent from other shows rocking with us as well, giving their opinion, which we would love, giving advice in the chat. A couple people answered some fantasy football questions. So keep it up. What's up, Jimmy? Greg says that's very well true. Greg Millie says, disagree to the poll. Dude was on the practice squad for a reason. Every other team in the NFL passed over him week after week. Love what he brings to the field, but let's be real about it. So I will say this, though. Like, I'm not shocked now because what does this city want? What type of football player and running back and what type of team, what type of football they want to see be played? Like, this is almost, if you think about it, this is the same type of talk when how many years did it take Shady to win people over? You feel what I'm saying? It took Shady a long time. Deuce was still here. Everybody, Deuce. It's just kind of that, not to that same level, but it's kind of it's a lot of similarities between the two. You know what I mean? Well, Miles has to do a better job. Like, he can't come into this game Sunday if he plays, and this offensive line is rolling like they have been. It's going to be a little bit tougher against this Saints defense. I will say that. It's going to be tougher. But if they can continue to roll somewhat and be somewhat successful, and if there's a gaping hole that Howard would hit and then Miles bounces it outside, that's the thing. But one of these things that you can learn from is taking a step back, and he was forced to based on being hurt, right? And just really being in the film room, seeing where these holes are, seeing what his vision is. So when he gets out there, he just has to do it. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't even say a change of pace. I don't think we have a 1. I don't think we have a 2. I look at this as this can be our Chubb, our Kareem Hunt, or our Kamara, like you said, and Mark Ingram. You see what I'm saying? That's what this can be. And if Sirianni can take advantage of it, that's what's fine. If both of them have 10 to 15 touches, 10 to 15 carries, as long as we keep Jalen Hurts under 25 pass attempts, that's the recipe for success for this team to get a win.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. I don't care. I mean, obviously, like I said, when you talk about talent, I don't think this question was based off of talent. We all know that Miles Sanders is the more talented running back. But
Are you sure? I think there are some people that don't agree with that.
You can't say that because Chicago, Jordan Howard put up 1,000 yards and traded him for a 5th-round pick, and then immediately when they got David Montgomery, they got David Montgomery. You feel what I'm saying?
Jordan Howard had a huge rookie season, and his numbers declined every year after that. And people still try to use that argument of he has the most yards in the last 4 years. Well, yeah, he does have the most rushing yards in the last 4 years. Right. This was back in 2019. They threw that stat out without adding the context of, but his numbers were declining for a reason.
Yeah, that's true. But like also at the same time, it's like, I say this. So we see Jordan Howard hit the hole, get yards, get positive yards, get 5, 10, 12, 15 yards a game. And I actually
see that. It's fun to see him go straight ahead. No, sorry to cut you off, but like I do want to add, it's so much fun to see him go and like run over guys. I love having that
physicality.
Compliment Miles. I love that.
Right, but like Ross Tucker said, he was on the dial somewhere to some station this week, and he said, like, listen, it's good to see these 10 to 12, 15 yard runs, but even and this is how he said, this is how the coaches look at it, and this is how the front office looks at it. They're seeing that hole. They're seeing that running back get those 15, 20 yards, but they like, what if we had a running back that could take that to the house?
Exactly.
And that's like, I can see you tell you right now, right? Everybody's wish. Okay, we say Howard. Say they get into the playoffs. I can't even be saying this shit. Say they get into the playoffs.
Told you last week, Pete.
Yes, you did. Howard gets a gaping hole. It's a 40-yard. It's daylight, nothing but daylight. He gets hawked down from behind. What is the fans going to be saying then? Oh, good run by Howard. ... Sanders will take that bitch to the house. See what I'm saying? Like the quicker you can get 6, that's always going to speak to how much talent you have and how much credence that you have in playing time. I'm not saying I'm just trying to draw a clear line in the sand between these two dudes and say that they're both valuable, but I can see why when Sanders is healthy, why he'll probably be out there on the first play of the game, first snap of the game. If they feel as if if they feel as if Sanders is fully healthy, fully ready to go and handle a workload. I can see why the coaches in the front office had that credence for Sanders over Howard. You know what I mean? So that's where I look at it at.
Yeah, it's crazy, and Pop says it too. Like he agrees with us. What's up, fellas? Disagree. Sanders is the best back we got. All for splitting carries with Howard, and that's what it comes down to.
I don't give a shit. They do 50-50, bro. 50-50.
That's fine because, like what Jeff's point. If you use a combination of them, right? A rotation with Miles and Howard being 1 and 2, like come playoff time or come late December, if we need them, they're fresh. And we've seen the importance of fresh legs come that time of year. If you have a running back who has fresh legs or still can keep on going, that's huge. It's absolutely huge. On our Super Bowl year, when we traded for Ajayi, he came in and the first few weeks we got him
slow.
We didn't use him a lot, but then once I think it was the Rams game was the first game where he started to get like north of 10 touches, 10 carries a game, or started getting the bulk of the carries. He started to shred defenses. So fresh legs are important.
Yeah, and look, this is a good problem to have if you're an Eagles fan. I know here we're just trying to have a friendly debate. We're trying to discuss. It's what we do here on this platform. But as an Eagles fan, this is a good problem to have. And unfortunately, Miles Sanders getting hurt was probably the best thing for this organization at this point in time, because now we found Jordan Howard. We were able to find what he's able to do. Nick Sirianni's found a way to utilize him the best of his ability in this offense. Otherwise, Jordan Howard, he's still on the practice squad. He's not getting these snaps. He's not getting this opportunity. So the fact that we finally found our 1-2 punch with Miles Sanders and with Jordan Howard, especially since, like you brought up last week, Chucks, that the Eagles are finding their identity offensively. They lead the NFL with 42 rushing attempts per game over the last 3 weeks. So they're dedicated to running the football. And this week it's going to be a tough task with New Orleans Saints being, I think, top against the run. So it's going to be they're going to need all the firepower between Hurts, Sanders, and Jordan Howard this week.
Absolutely.
Must I say, I've been back in the gym doing some shoulder workouts. I like the way my traps look right now. If this was just me and this looked like the rest of me going straight down, I'd be all right. But it's not like that. Not like that. We ain't there yet, player. We on the way. We on the way. Yeah. But no, Jeff, real quick to wrap up the first quarter. I think Sanders getting hurt allowed Sirianni to see people have clearly defined roles. And even within that, right? We're not sitting here saying that what role does Sanders have on the team altogether, like he doesn't have a spot on his team. He clearly has a role in what the team is being successful. That's something on the roster that you don't have. I mean, while Boston Scott, okay, Gainwell, okay. You feel what I'm saying? You have Sanders who can do what Boston Scott can do on a better level and is faster and is their home run hitter. So just keep the mentality shouldn't change. The mentality shouldn't change. You can't come out against New Orleans and throw the ball like that. You can't. It's not conducive to success. I would say it's not conducive to success at all. So both of them, if they both play Sunday and suit up, but at that point, because they're not going to dress forward, are they?
Possibly.
Probably not. Well, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. But if I were to bet, I'd say Gainwell is inactive.
Cool.
I'd say Gainwell is inactive. And that leads to my remember the point I was making before. People were wondering when that first game when Sanders was out, everyone was expecting Gainwell to do better, but he barely got any carries. It was Scott and it was Howard. Why? Because like I kept saying to people, Gainwell is still learning as a runner. He's not polished. His forte right now is as a receiver. He's still trying to learn how to run in between the tackles.
Does Gainwell provide more promise out of the backfield as a receiver than what Boston Scott would?
I believe so.
So if that's the case, I can see. Yeah. I would rather have Boston Scott being active.
That's a good point, because if you want
Yeah.
if you want like a variety of stuff.
Yeah.
Because
Dennis Allen gonna throw some shit at him. He gonna throw some shit at him. So, anything else for the first quarter?
No, other than he's back.
Oh, this bitch.
He's back, baby. Give him the rock. Run, booby, run. You want to win?
Run, booby, run.
Win. That's right. Go ahead.
All right, so before we get into the second quarter with the Eagles and Broncos recap, everybody in the fam out there, check out Body Check Wellness. It's a line of products that promote wellness, balance, and recovery by using the powerful potential of hemp. It does help, but it uses the full potential of hemp. You know what I mean? They come in extract, blends, gummies, and topicals. Use promo code A2D for 25% off your order at bodycheckwellness.com. So CBD stuff, roll-on gummies, extracts to help you focus. I know Tom uses the Clarity. I think Jimmy also from Flight Zone also uses the Clarity as well. A couple other guys, just to help you keep you in that one-track mind, to clear out all that bullshit, all the clouds. So check out Body Check Wellness. Once again, promo code A2D, 25% off. So Eagles-Bronco recap. I'll start this off. Very surprised. Teddy B made a business decision. I will just say this. My grade for Jalen Hurts this game was the first letter of this platform. It was an A.
Yeah.
So, and it's just everything's clicking at the right time. The coaches, the defense, just big plays. And that's what happens. When you can tell that your football team is starting to click and they're starting to gel, plays are coming from everywhere. And Davion Taylor, quiet as kept, one of the biggest success stories up to this part of the season. Not only does he look like he's starting to get it and be in the right spot, but he's using that raw athleticism to make plays, pop the fumble out, really kind of put the game away, because I think it was 20-13 and they were on their way potentially to make it. It was already a one-score game, but either to potentially tie the game or get within 4 with the field goal. So that kind of put the game out of reach. But just Jalen Hurts with the timing throws, Devontae Smith starting to look like he's really starting to find his own, getting catches over the middle, getting contested catches. I mean, hey, Pat Surtain, that's who we wanted. If we didn't get Devontae, and you see what the plays he's starting to make. These are the things that high point in the ball, high point in the catch, things of that nature. The Dallas Goedert play should have been a flag. I don't know if he's on track to play this week. If he's not on track to play this week,
I think he is. I think he limited practice today, right?
Okay. So he may be out of the concussion protocol. How that wasn't a flag is beyond me. But just clear, it was good to see. It was their best quality win of the season, better than Atlanta. It was on the road in a tougher place to play, on a team that the week before kind of just aired out another team that is probably better than them. You feel what I'm saying? So this year in the NFL has just been fucking crazy. As soon as you crown somebody as a good team, what happens? The next week they lose. You see what I'm saying? So that's been happening all year. So for me, as a whole, best win of the game, best win of the year. Jalen Hurts is an A. I give Jalen Hurts an A, Sirianni A, Gannon an A, all the way around, because quiet is kept. Our corners aren't the biggest corners, all right? They're physical, but they're not the biggest corners. You look at Courtland Sutton and Tim Patrick, both these bitches is like 6'2", 6'3". And they kept Teddy off his game enough. Fletcher Cox had a decent game, and they just made him uncomfortable. They were able to get some runs on his chest. Javonte Williams, we tried to tell you before the draft that he's going to be a stud. Captain, I don't know. Noah Fant didn't have any catches whatsoever. I think he had maybe 1 or 2. So that was I felt like they kept Denver out of a rhythm. After they scored the touchdown with Javonte Williams, they just came back and kept going. And the play design and the play timing and the calling is just getting better and better and better. And that was against a good defense. Regardless, it's at home. It could have been a letdown game for Denver because they just came off the win against Dallas. Still talented. And they were able to move the ball. Yeah, they had a couple drives where they stalled out. That's what you're going to have. Now, I think that's the perfect type of setup game for what you're about to face this Sunday, and we'll get into it. But for me personally, it was the best quality win of the year. Jalen Hurts' best performance. I think it was probably Jalen Hurts' better than Arizona, because I think it was in that environment better than Arizona, and everything just clicked, and everything felt like everything played off of one another. Like they had an identity, they had a rhythm. And when you see Devontae getting 2 touchdowns, I think he had like 80 or almost close to 100 yards. The Quest drop, I mean,
oh my God.
I mean, it's hard. It's hard when you're going to somebody the first 3 weeks of the season, and then you don't go back to him in that manner since week 11. I understand he has to be a professional, had to catch that ball, and Hurts actually trusted that ball. That's the other thing. That deep throw, he trusted it. He put it out there for him. You know what I mean? He stepped up in the pocket and made some throws. But why? Because it's just you get one. Okay, you get one. The next one that comes your way, if it hits your hands like that, bitch, you better catch it.
Hey, it evened out a little bit. Bridgewater did overthrow that. I think it was Patrick wide open down the sideline too.
Yes.
So they each quarterback or each team had their one.
Yeah, and real quick, I want to add because I'm not. I mean, it's frustrating to see Quez drop that. You want to see him catch it, and if he catches that, Hurts' numbers are even more impressive. But
Yep.
You know, it's one funny thing that I saw someone say is, can you imagine if that was Rager that dropped it? How much it would have, like, everyone would have just blown up. So it just goes to show the little narratives that the Eagles fan base has. But Jeff, go ahead. I'll recap. Well, Manny says here real quick, that idea that Gainwell is still learning is complete poop to me. Prior to Sanders getting hurt, it was all Sanders and Gainwell. Scott never saw the field. Booby goes down. Next game, it's Scott and Howard as a rotation. Gainwell had 2 touchdowns in Detroit along with Howard. Rotation makes no sense. What I would say to you is, yeah, it was a lot of Sanders and Gainwell. But if you put the numbers aside and you actually look at it, Gainwell on his runs, while he does deserve credit, a lot of them were against lighter boxes where he didn't have to process a lot. You know, every interior run, all runs are not created equal. There are right. Certain things where if blocking doesn't hold up as much, or if you're facing a light box versus a heavy box, there are more things you have to process and do. And Gainwell's vision, I can show you numerous reps where Gainwell running in between the tackles, he's not patient enough, and he doesn't have the proper footwork right now. But I'm not worried about it. Like, he's a rookie. He's a rookie who had one standout season in Memphis. Of course, it's going to be a learning process for him. I'm not worried at all. I still see Gainwell as having a fantastic future as a pro. It's just that right now, when they had to switch with Miles out and they had to go to a reliable running game, they had to go to veterans who knew what they were doing. Yep. And we talked about Howard being no nonsense and just getting up in there, having that veteran experience to run between the tackles properly with decent vision, and Scott as well. He has experience running between the tackles. You had to go to them. So that's the whole thing. You know, it gotta look beyond the numbers. And realize that there are things that Gainwell still does have to learn. He does have to learn. But go ahead, Jeff. You were saying, give us your thoughts, your reactions to the Eagles-Broncos game.
I'll say, really, there's not much that needs to be said. Pete basically summed it up pretty much perfectly in his assessment. But this game, you saw, this was a complete team win from all phases of the game. Special teams, you had that block field goal. They make a play there. Defensively, yes, we had the touchdown. We also saw a little bit more of a different scheme a little bit with Gannon, especially early on. That the fact that we were seeing a little bit more press coverage with his cornerbacks, which we did not see the previous couple weeks a lot. Offensively, Jalen Hurts, he was just balling out. And going into this game, we discussed it last week, the things that going into this game that we need to look for and that we kept on criticizing about: accuracy, arm strength, going through his progressions. I kind of felt in this game he did all of that. He definitely improved, and he made strides as a quarterback to consistently make those improvements. And the fact of the matter is that typically from Jalen Hurts, from what you've seen from him this season, when his first or second read isn't there, he's more prone to run, more roll out to the right, try to extend the play. We saw him more stay in the pocket a little bit more, and I don't know if that's just him having the confidence in his players, having confidence with the offensive line, that now that they're all gelling together and back at full strength, that he believes in them, giving him the time, that he doesn't need to roll out as much. But we're definitely seeing a lot more confidence, not just from the Eagles team, but the quarterback in Jalen Hurts, which is definitely what we want.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's a big part of it. When you see your offensive line mauling people and pushing them around, and you're running for almost close to 200 yards for 3 weeks in a row, that gives you confidence that I'm safe. This is a safe place. this is a quiet place. You know what I'm saying? Like this, I'm good here. I don't need to roll out. Like I said, we'll get into our fourth quarter when we look at the preview. But now for me, as we talked about all year, I didn't have any expectations. Now I think is the time where you can clearly have some expectations because you're seeing this team perform at its best. And now I'm starting to have expectations because they are setting a bar for themselves based on their performance for me into every game for the rest of the season and what I should expect. Because now I've seen you operate at your best. Yep. I now you can't lay a shit game like you did against week 3 against Dallas. I've seen you play your best. I've seen you play against a decent team, not a top 5 or top 10 team. And really, this is why I say they may make the playoffs is because they don't have any of the fucking teams left on their schedule except for Dallas, and that's the last game of the year, and that may not mean anything. Every other team that you play now, I mean, you already hold the tiebreaker over Atlanta. You already hold the tiebreaker over Carolina. This Sunday, if you get your first home win since the last time you beat this team, you'll have the tiebreaker over New Orleans. I don't know. Chuck's dissect. Let us know how you feel. Let us know how you feel.
I agree with you, Pete, in terms of Hurts getting an A. And if anyone, to me, this is how I see it. If anyone wants to say, oh, second half, you only threw 3 passes, like get that out of your system. One, and also that interception, I don't really put a lot of blame on him. Gainwell missed the assignment. Yeah. Gainwell missed the blitz pickup, which led to the defender getting into Hurts' face, which affected the throw, which led to an interception. So,
and no quarterback's perfect. We have to remember this guy has less than a year worth of starts. So
yeah,
I see Tom Brady is still throwing interceptions.
Yeah,
so just through the interception doesn't mean you can get down on the kid.
Exactly. Because I'm looking at the whole picture, and I'm sure you guys are too. And the whole picture is the fact that Hurts finally showed stuff as a passer that we've been wanting to see from him.
Yep.
You know, I did a film breakdown video on A2D's socials. It's up there, and I broke down numerous plays. Like I'll go through each one of them, you know, verbally here. Like the first play I broke down, the 1-2 Quez on that first possession in the first quarter, where he was rolling out to his right. Like what you don't see is the fact that he rolls out. He initially doesn't see anyone open, and then he tucks it as if he's going to run. But he keeps his eyes down the field. And as he's going through his progressions there, he sees Quez open on the sail route. And then not only does he throw it right before he goes out of bounds, but he places the ball on the inside back shoulder for Quez so that it doesn't lead into the defender. That's huge. That's high-level quarterbacking right there. The second possession in the first quarter, that check down to Quez right before the big 24-yard pass to Goddard, another play where he chooses not to run. No one's open, but he chooses not to run. He checks it down to Quez because he sees that the Broncos are in zone coverage. So no matter where he runs, there are defenders looking at him. The next play, which is the play that everyone's talking about, and for good reason, it's probably the best play of Hurts' career up to this point, is he avoids pressure by stepping up in the pocket. He avoids pressure again by stepping to his left. He flips his hips quickly, sees Goddard on the crosser, and throws a dime to Goddard. Dime. Yeah. That's high level quarterbacking again. Later on now in the second quarter, you have that 31-yard run. Why is that a good decision to run? Because he sees that Denver is in man coverage. They're playing cover 1. And everyone is to the right side of the field. There is no one to the left. No one. And there's one defender on the left side that is covering the flat. Someone was in the flat. I think it was the running back. He's covering him, but his eyes aren't on Jaylen. So when Jaylen runs, the defender, he goes right by the defender. The defender doesn't see him run because his eyes are on the guy in the flat. Great. That's when you want to. That's what you want to see. Know when to run, and then the pass to that last possession, that last drive before the half, before the Quez drop. there was that one pass to Reagor on the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, great! Like you have a defender right in your face, right in your face, and he stands in the pocket, delivers the strike, and when he releases the ball, Reagor isn't even out of his break yet. The ball's out of Hurts' hands, and Reagor doesn't even hit the top of his route. And then he places it in a spot where Reagor can jump up and get it. Good catch too by Reagor. That's amazing.
And that's coaching because the week before he missed the anticipation throw that probably wins us the game.
Yeah, exactly. And then that pass to Quez, that arguably was his best throw of the game. I'd say it was better than the throw to Devontae.
Yep.
Because man, like that's one-on-one. He throws it literally. You couldn't have thrown it.
He drops it in the bucket, bro.
Bucket. Perfect placement. So that's all stuff that we've been wanting to see to say, hey, this is what we need to see on a consistent basis in order to say, hey, we can see progression, and this is what gets us hopeful and being willing to give him another season to prove himself as the franchise. So if he continues to make plays like this, he's absolutely your starter next year. Absolutely.
Hands down. Well, yeah. I mean, unless something crazy happens. Unless something
crazy happens. Yeah.
Unless Russell or Aaron says, I want to go play there. then all bets are off.
If Russell says, I'll go there, and the Seahawks are like, we'll take your bottom first round pick and a future second, and like Hurts, I'm doing that in a heartbeat. And then if Rodgers is like, I'll go to Philly, and then Devontae says, I'm following him.
Oh,
Devontae as our wide receivers, guys.
Pipe dream.
Ooh, gosh.
So I don't. If they do that and they can still keep like two of the first, because he's gonna want to do that. Well, you still have to have a defense. But I mean, this team right now, what I'm showing is that Sirianni may have been the right pick, Gannon may have been the right guy, and the same way that the team has to come together, the coaching staff has to gel and come together. You know, like they all have known each other individually, but they've never worked together. So now takes a while. They're what? 10 games into the season, 11 games into the season, right?
10 games.
4 and 6.
11.
4 and 6. So 4 and 6. This will be week 11. So they're 10 games into the season. They're starting to figure out, okay, this is us at our worst. This is us at our best. And this is, don't get me wrong, I have high hopes for the offense, right? But what excites me more is if Gannon gets talent on defense, man, listen, dude. Like he's doing this shit with this, and he's making adjustments, and he's doing it with this. Let him get a Kyle Hamilton. You feel what I'm saying? Let him get a Christian Harris from or the linebacker from Georgia. I forget his name. Somebody brought up, and I actually went and looked at him last week. It's like Nakobe or something like that. They get somebody like that, or just get more talent, or Davion Taylor really starts to come into his own, and that athleticism, he becomes a really good player. TJ Edwards keeps taking steps forward. If he gets players on defense, and you can have this defense to where they can take it away, and be not bend but break, but still be aggressive and not just giving up big plays down the field, you may have something on your hands here. And that way you can take these first round picks and really just, you can pick your spot at where you want to make a team better, because I got a feeling they go offensive line at one of those picks because they're just getting older.
Yeah, and I think that would be a fine decision.
Habib, I can't say the last name. Habib Baksh. If I messed that up, I'm sorry. Nakobe Dean, that's it. But he says Hurts is better than any college QB that would be our quarterback next year. It's hard pressed for me to say he's not. The only person I may say now is Matt Corral, because Matt Corral, every big game that Matt Corral has, he's performing. Every big game he has, he's performing. He's not even 100%. But at the same time, it's not something that if you can potentially get him, because how he pulled the trigger on the QB bitch just because he woke up on the right side of the bed and he slept at a Holiday Inn Express the night before. You feel what I'm saying? Honestly, because who thought in 2020 we were going into that draft in the second round and quarterback would be one of the picks that wasn't even a position of need at that point.
Yep.
And he did it. So if he feels as if that he has a guy or he sees the value in it, I can't take it off the board and how he won't do it. But if Hurts keeps playing like he did, it's going to be hard pressed. It's going to be hard pressed because even me, there's nothing I can say about that game. You know what I mean? Nothing I can say. Somebody said he had 176 yards. The team was rocking. That's what the game called for. You feel what I'm saying? He's not. There's not a game on this schedule left that they should be in a fucking shootout.
Yeah.
That his stat line is going to be like that for the rest of the year.
And that's why I don't, because like if you're complaining about 176 yards, well then okay, what happened with the drop? How much would he have if Quez didn't drop that pass? You know, look at his numbers then. So are you not including that? That's why I don't like stats without the context, because stats will lie to you all the time. And you know, to your point about I thought about this other. I don't know why we didn't bring this up before, but you know, a lot of people say that, you know, defense, you have 3 first-round picks, you got to go defense, right? You got to improve the talent on the defensive side. If that's the narrative, that's the case, and everyone agrees that the defense needs a boost in talent, right?
Right.
Why is that not talked about? Why hasn't that been talked about enough in weeks prior? Yet everyone still wants to go Gannon, right? Like, how does that make sense? If you're saying the defense needs a boost, needs to get better talent-wise, but yet you're only blaming Gannon, that doesn't make sense. It doesn't mesh. So you need like the defensive, like Greg Cosell and Fran Duffy on the podcast, the Eagle Eye in the Sky.
Tuesdays.
They said it. They were just like Greg Cosell flat out said it. He was like, I think Gannon's finally able to do stuff with his coverages because the players are finally starting to comprehend. You know, you can't call mixed coverages like against Denver. They mix up the coverage where half of the field they're playing man, half the field playing zone. They're finally mixing up coverages. And Cosell was like, he's finally doing that because he couldn't do that before because players weren't comprehending. Players weren't playing their zones right. They were still learning how to play these zones, which is what we were saying.
Yep.
But yet Gannon was the only one to blame. Fire Gannon. Like it was crazy. And then what's so funny is that there was a rep, right? Remember when the week before against the Chargers, there was that one rep everyone was blasting online. There was a rep where Derek Barnett was it was a zone blitz, zone exchange, whatever you want to call it. Derek Barnett dropped back into coverage, right? And then he didn't get deep enough, and then it led to a completion and a first down for the Chargers. Everyone was blasting Gannon. It's like, why are you doing that? That's
poor execution. That's
right?
the player's fault.
Right? Well, lo and behold, right? This past game, there was another rep, another zone blitz where Derek Barnett dropped in the coverage. And guess what? It worked.
He got to the right depth.
Is anyone going to complain or bring that up now as a misuse of personnel? No, because it worked. Because that's how things work. Like when you have the players to execute a zone blitz correctly, most of the time it's going to work. And that's the thing. Sometimes it's not going to work because there's no perfect defense. But a lot of it has to be on the players to execute. So it's finally good to see. Like I better not see anyone like give Gannon a hard time after this, because you can't blame Gannon weeks before, and then when he finally has the defense has a great game, not give him credit.
Yep.
You can't have it both ways. You can't. And to what you were saying earlier, Pete, it is amazing how things throughout the first half of the year and to now has changed, because I believe us three were on the same page. We knew that this coaching staff was going to take time to figure things out. Young coaching staff, but everyone is so eager to fire people, fire them. When, you got to realize they're so young. And it just goes to the whole thing of, sometimes we just need to be more patient. I know that's a taboo word for this fan base, but it's the truth. We have to be more patient. We're so quick trigger week to week to to get rid of guys or to crown guys that we don't look at the big picture enough and say, hey, like maybe it just takes time. It just takes time.
And that's the thing. I'll say this. It's like, and you guys may agree or may not agree. I think for this team at how young they were, and even for the fans, I don't think the fans really looked at how tough the first half of this schedule was and that stretch when we all talked about it. It was the talk around every platform, every outlet that covers the Eagles. Those first 6, 7, 8 games, that stretch when they went Chiefs, Cowboys, that tough stretch that they had, this team needed that. You know what I mean? This team needed that to where now you can start to see the fruits of their labor. Now, when Nick Sirianni 2 weeks ago talk about the flower and all that bullshit, there's some tangible evidence there to where, like, maybe I wouldn't have said it like that, but it may be truth into what he said. You know what I mean? Truth into what he said. So now seeing that, it's not so much patience. It's just. I think it is a little bit of patience. It's a little just results. It's results, and and that's the thing. It's like we said it. I said it fucking week 1. He don't have the horses. He don't have the talent on defense to do what he want to do. You know what I mean? And when you don't have the talent who does make a mistake, like we'll put it like this. We talked about that. You talked about that zone blitz play against the Chargers, right? Derek Barnett isn't talented enough to make that mistake and still make a play. His execution has to be on point, and he has to make a play. They don't have the talent enough for people that make mistakes in the first half of the season like they were doing and make up for it with just raw talent. They don't have that. So now what do? Your players, they have to execute. They have to be in the right spot. What's amazing to me is like, what did Anthony Harris think he was fucking walking into? Like, did he change it that much? Like, you literally were here because you have some familiarity with the fucking scheme, right? So I don't know what happened there. Eric Wilson, not even here anymore, just fucking couldn't play. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's one team. I'll give you this. That's one team that can be very, very interesting in the offseason. To where real quick, if you send a 3rd or you send a 4th round pick to Minnesota for Eric Kendricks, because Zimmer's going to be out of there. His seat is flaming hot. So if you can get an Eric Kendricks, Anthony Barr's contract is not as friendly as Eric Kendricks, but if you can get an Eric Kendricks and you add him to that to that linebacker core, then that way you just fucking draft Kyle Hamilton, you draft Marvin McLeod, whatever his name is, or the kid from Michigan, because you need D line help. Because you're not bringing back Derek Barnett. You need D-line help.
Better not.
You may need to start looking at a D-tackle to replace Fletcher Cox.
Yep.
And you can, to be honest with you, can never have too much D-line help. And then you probably can get away with drafting another lineman. So.
Yep. Jeff, you got anything else?
No, I agree with everything you guys are saying. Look, it's an exciting time. Look, I'll say we wouldn't think we would be in the situation we would be in. Didn't expect the NFC or the NFL as a whole to have so much parity that there's really there's no definite contender or definite team in each conference that you can pinpoint and say they're the team to go to the Super Bowl. So it's a great thing to have right now. And then the fact that the wins that we do have are over teams, like you guys said earlier, we hold the tiebreaker over the Panthers. We hold the tiebreaker over the Falcons. If we win this week, we own the tiebreaker over the Saints. So for once, we are somewhat in a better position than we typically have in the past when we've been in this similar situation. So with the easy stretch of schedule, which again, it's the NFL, anything can happen. They still have to play the games. On paper, we can say these are wins or it's going to be a cupcake walk, but they still have to go out there and execute. So it's going to be a fun stretch of games over the next 2 weeks and an exciting offseason, but let's worry about the Saints this week before we start talking the P word too much.
That is absolutely true. Absolutely true. All right, so we're about at halftime now, guys. We've reached the half of the show. Let's get into the third quarter. And the third quarter is brought to you by Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC. You got 2 locations, Burlington and Cherry Hill. So make them yours, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Let's go around the league now, guys. Let's talk about, let's get a little bit out of Eagles talk for a second.
Okay.
And talk about around the league news, reaction. So, Jeff, if you want to start off, do you have anything you want to talk about from the NFL that's that's on your mind?
Of course, you start with me. Go with Pete. Go with Pete first.
All right, Pete, you go first. You go first.
I've been mainly following the Eagles drama, so I haven't been pinpoint too much with it around the NFL at the moment.
What do I want to talk about? So real quick, Kayvon Kellum says, "What's the score of the game?" We haven't brought up the game at all. I think it's like 3-0 the Patriots.
3-0 started the second quarter.
Yeah, Patriots driving.
So we'll start there since the Patriots are playing tonight. Mac Jones is a real fucking deal, dude. Listen, I don't know how else we can say this. I don't know, and I know Chuck's is he's been on the Trey Lance bandwagon, and he has, and that's right. I just think teams that passed on Mac Jones are seeing what they missed on, and the Patriots and Belichick is showing you, okay, maybe we can coach him. It's one of the same things when Josh McDaniels has confidence in the players and in the scheme to be able to call certain things and executing. The Patriots probably end up being a wild card team. Parity, dude. Like you go from contenders one week to pretenders the next week. I've never seen. I can't remember the last time I've seen a year like this at all. Like everybody was so quick. OBJ to the Rams, touchdown. I'm not watching.
Aguilar.
Even he's fucking catching the ball. Like, come on, man. Like, are you serious? Are you serious? But no, but just parity, man. Just contenders or pretenders. We've seen it with. I'm not saying the Rams are pretenders, but to come out like this is why I said this shit. I said this a couple weeks ago. Sean McVay will never, ever, 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 ever win a Super Bowl. Because it doesn't get talked about enough. They keep bringing up Kyle Shanahan and is choking all this shit. This bitch can't even win a big when you're a favorite game in your division on the road. You can't even do that.
Can I?
You couldn't even beat Nick Foles on a Sunday night in 2017. No, 2018, I think. They beat him on the road after Carson went down with the back, if I'm not mistaken. They went there.
Yeah,
they did. Sunday Night Football.
17 and 18.
Every big game that he has, he chokes. Matt Stafford, listen, Stafford, I don't know what the fuck. Remember we talked about it. I talked about it last week. I said, listen, Stafford had the bad game against Tennessee. What did he have Monday night? LA ain't Tinseltown ain't for everybody, bitch. Everybody can't perform under the lights. It's one thing to go out there and throw 400 yards and 3 touchdowns and a comeback effort in garbage time in Detroit. But now you supposed to be the man. You're supposed to be the man now. LA, everything is built for you to fucking win. You see what I'm saying? I never said. I'm trying to think. Give me another team. Cincinnati ain't been the same since. I know they had a bye last week.
Well, hold on. If we're gonna get, let's backtrack because I thought this. So you talked about Mac Jones first, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mac Jones went to the perfect place.
Yes.
For Mac Jones.
Yes.
And I'm not like a Patriots or Belichick fan, but at the same time, the hate and disrespect to Belichick after last season was way overboard. Way overboard. Everyone's saying, oh, the Patriots' success, the dynasty, was all because of Tom Brady. All because of Tom Brady. And Tom Brady absolutely played a huge part. But to disrespect saying that it was all Brady and Belichick wasn't, like, had next to nothing to do with it was such disrespect. And yes, I saw that from people. Saw people say that last year. Remember, the Patriots didn't have any talent. They sat out a year because of COVID. They had no talent on the defense. So to see Mac Jones go to the Patriots and run that offense the way that Tom Brady ran it earlier on in the year is so reminiscent of how the Patriots first started. Yep. And this isn't a slight on Mac Jones, and let me explain. Mac Jones isn't doing anything outrageous. He's not doing anything like, Justin Herbert was last year, where he's throwing
second touchdown throw last week was crazy though.
Oh yeah, that was great. But I'm like, overall, Mac Jones isn't doing anything outside of the ordinary or anything that should make the highlight reel, I should say. But that's not a bad thing. Do you know why? Because, and I even got caught up in this. I'm guilty of this before too. We get so caught up in the Mahomeses, the Rodgers, the Josh Allens, who make these highlight reel plays and make second reaction plays, and that's great. I think having that ability is such a huge bonus because when things break down, you need to be able to do that. It's like my argument with running backs being able to create for themselves. Being able to make a play like that is special. Mm-hmm. But there's something to be said about a quarterback that also just knows how to run the offense, who knows how to distribute the ball where it's supposed to be. And that's what made Brady great for so long. And that's what making Mac Jones so good his rookie year. Jeremiah Butler, thank you so much. Thank you so much. He says, it was a fun story, but people won't talk about Tom going to a team with over 5,000 yards in the air like KD going to Golden State. And I am not going to take away – it's true, but I'm not going to take away from Tom because we talk about how, when a quarterback goes to a bad team, we always have to say, we can't judge them because that team is bad. The team is bad. Well, then we can't judge and take away from a quarterback when the team is good. When the team is good, it's okay to give him credit. So I give Tom credit, and Tom being there is absolutely a huge reason why everyone ran it back for another season. And everyone had that mojo late in the playoffs. They had that faith in Tom. So I'm not taking away from Tom, but it's true. Like the Bucks had a great team that Tom went to. The Patriots and Belichick just didn't. But to see Mac Jones go to the perfect situation, and I'm glad as an NFL fan, I'm glad he's there. When it comes to now, you talked about the Rams. Let's talk about the Rams. So, how many times have I been on here and said and made the case that Kyle Shanahan is just a better coach than Sean McVay?
Oh yeah.
And people think that that's like so taboo to say because Sean McVay is the golden boy of the NFL. He's young, he's good looking, he has a model girlfriend, and he coaches in LA, and his overall record over the past several years is much better than Kyle's. But then you put context into it. The Rams have had much more stability at quarterback than Kyle and the Niners have had at all. The Rams have had healthier seasons to their major players than Kyle Shanahan and the Niners ever had. However, Sean McVay, like you said, seems to always choke. He got to the Super Bowl. How many touchdowns did they score?
0.
No touchdowns.
I feel bad for any Rams fan that spent thousands of dollars to watch him score 3 freaking points.
God, that was like the worst Super Bowl I ever watched. And, Kyle Shanahan has now won 5 straight games against Sean McVay. 5 straight games. Needless to say, Kyle Shanahan owns Sean McVay.
Yep.
He owns him. He knows. And that field goal, that fake field goal attempt at the end of the second half, Sean McVay called it because he knew he was desperate. He knows he's getting outcoached.
Yeah.
So he's trying to pull things out of thin air, trying to make magic because he knows he's getting outcoached. He knows it. And I've said it on here even last week, or was it the week before? I've been very critical of Kyle Shanahan this year. I've been very disappointed with some of it. But let's not sugarcoat it. Sean McVay, people don't want to talk bad about Sean McVay because he's the golden boy of the NFL coaching tree. But he's choking. And there's something to be said about a guy who just can't seem to get it done. You just can't get it done. He can't. So real quick, this is what I would say.
Yeah.
I saw it was so funny seeing also people like Troy Aikman came out and said and had quotes. He said that OBJ has already ruined the Rams team organization in the locker room.
It's not his fault.
So let me get it. OBJ is there for a few days, and he's the reason the Rams lost to the Niners that badly. No. That's how much we're going to defend Sean McVay and deflect blame from Sean McVay. Is we're going to blame OBJ who just got there and barely played. Okay. All right.
No, it's what it is. That game Monday night, it showed you that one coach's offense has. I must have seen Shanahan run the same fucking formation 10 times in a row with 10 different looks and 10 different plays. And the Rams defense lost that game because McVay just. Shanahan just kept running the same. He kept running different shit out of the same look. You couldn't get. So, like, if you're looking at Raheem Morris, if you're looking at that as defense, like, okay, well, they're in the same. I'm not making subs. I'm not doing this because you just don't know what the fuck is coming from you and what's coming at you. But the offense is just, I mean, Stafford, once again, McVay has me pulling his head like, fuck, I got rid of Jared Goff, who's doing the same shit. Yeah, Stafford looked a little better, but in these bigger games where I need him, he's doing the same Jared Goff type shit, turning the ball over. You feel what I'm saying? Like, what is it? Like, the first pass to Odell Beckham, where was he throwing that shit to? That got picked. The first interception, like, what are you doing? I don't get it. I don't get it. Between that and what I've seen, like, I don't know if the Chargers are real. They lost to the Vikings, and I can't even say in the home game because it's never a home game in SoFi Stadium for the Chargers. Everybody better be on the lookout too for Kansas City, man. They fucked around. I don't know how you feel about it, Jeff. Kansas City hit their low point. Now it's like these bitches starting to wake up and find themselves all over again.
And hopefully they're hitting at the right point since they have the Dallas Cowboys this week. So as an Eagles fan, you're definitely pulling for Patty Mahomes and Big Red this coming week to get things rolling again.
Is that America's game of the week? I'm assuming. Is that correct?
I believe so.
I would think that it would be their game of the week, America's game of the week. But
I think it is. Yeah, I think it's America's game of the week.
4:25 start. Yeah.
Green Bay is fuck. Like Odell, if you'd have went to Green Bay, bitch. God.
I know. I wanted it so bad. How
about our boy Deshaun getting his first catch as a Raider that freaking fumbles it?
He was trying to like cut it back or something. I don't know
what he was doing.
I don't know. I mean, young Deshaun just goes straight forward because he believes in the speed. I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he felt like he wasn't fast enough to outrun the guy. I don't know.
So real quick, let's just do real quick. So how shocked were you to Washington Tampa Bay game? Do you just think that was just Tampa Bay got off the plane and this one thing turned into another, compounded, and they really just couldn't make it? It was really much. Do you feel as if it was Washington winning the game or Tampa Bay losing the game?
I think Tampa Bay losing the game.
Yeah.
I just think I don't think Tampa was focused. I don't think it was a bad day for them.
Especially losing Chase Young as early as Washington did. You thought that was the turning point for the Buccaneers and Tom Brady. We've seen this way too many times where Brady's been given the opportunity to lead a team from behind in the fourth quarter and this and that. I just kind of feel that it was an off week.
Yeah.
Tennessee, man, they're treading water, bro. They're treading water till the dude gets back, if he gets back. I think the earliest, when he first had the surgery, was 6 to 10 weeks.
Yeah,
so it'll be right before playoffs.
Right before playoffs, right? And if they can keep staving this off, and maybe luck. Do you think they could luck into the first? I'll say luck in, but I mean they're 8-2. I don't think there's any other team in the AFC that has less than four losses. I met Baltimore maybe 7. Is Baltimore 7-3?
See standings.
Are they 7-3? I forget what the standings
are. They 7-3 or 7?
Next team is 6-3. It's the Titans at 8-2, Bills, Ravens at 6-3, with the Chiefs at 6-4, and the Raiders Steelers 5-3-1, tying to the Lions. Yeah, we didn't get into that either.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why they should have just started Haskins. I mean, I know the field was bad, but Rudolph just didn't give you a chance to win. You knew Detroit was coming off the bye, and they were going to play better. I think
the Lions should have won that freaking football game.
Exactly. That's exactly why I was taking the Steelers in my survivor pool, and I took a bye, and instead I took a bye instead. What I was about to say. So. No, I mean, the Steelers, what they're looking at, why you want to have faith in Big Ben like that, you haven't looked for his replacement. I don't know. There's been numerous quarterbacks that you could have went and got. I'm worried about the Ravens, though. I really am, because if it's not Lamar out there doing Russ Cook type shit, what are they?
And they don't want to throw the ball to their best wide receiver, which is a rookie in Rashad Bateman. He's like their best already. He's like their best wide receiver.
Exactly.
They don't want to throw to him.
I think they're in trouble. I mean, because you think about it, Cincinnati already beat them in Baltimore. They play Cincinnati again. Like that division is so close. Cleveland has the easiest out because Baker's just not right. They dealt with internal turmoil with Beckham. Beckham's not healthy. So that's the easiest out for them. Obviously, Pittsburgh doesn't have the most talent in that division. You know what I mean? They don't have the best quarterback. They probably have worst starting quarterback in that division. Chase Claypool's out, so they don't have a good complement of weapons as well. Cincinnati's on the up and coming, and Baltimore's there. But Baltimore, to me, if you have a team that plays their A1, I can't even say that because if Baker's healthy and Chubb is healthy and Hunt is healthy and they had their A1 game, Cleveland's the best team in the division, in my opinion.
Yeah, I believe so too.
But right now, as it is, if they play the A1 game as currently constructed, Cincinnati is the best team in the division because they can just do so much more offense. They can put up 30 on you at any given time. So that division is I'm definitely interested to see how the division plays out. The West is the West. I mean, Arizona, I don't know. I mean, what, Tampa Bay 6-4, you said? I don't think we looked at the NFC though. Tampa Bay is 6-3. 6-3. I believe because they lost to LA, they lost to New Orleans, and they now lost to Washington.
6-3. So the NFC right now currently is Packers 8-2, Cardinals 8-2, Cowboys 7-2, Bucks 6-3, and the Rams 7-3.
So Carolina with Cam 2.0, act number 2. Listen.
Rejuvenating that career, baby. Sam Darnold might not be getting his job back.
He's done. He's done. But just as far as that division is so close because we'll get into the fourth quarter, but I think the Saints may be coming into losing 2 in a row. You feel what I'm saying? That's how I look at it on the potential of doing that. And then you have Falcons about to lose, and the Falcons is 4-4. I think they're going to drop to 4-5 tonight. And then if Carolina, if they can get 6-5, you 1 game away. You know what I mean? I don't even know who Tampa Bay has this week. I forget who they have. I forget. But I looked at it, but I can't remember now.
Tampa has the Giants Monday Night Football.
Where at?
In Tampa.
It doesn't matter.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. You say that shit, right, Chucks? But look.
I know.
This year is weird.
Who did the Giants upset a few weeks ago? Was it the
Oakland
Raiders?
The Raiders.
Oakland.
Yeah.
Well, Vegas.
But that was a West Coast team coming in.
Yeah, I said Oakland. My bad.
Yeah. Raiders. It doesn't matter.
And the Giants did play the Chiefs tough, only losing to them by a field goal the week before that. They beat the Carolina Panthers when they were a little hot. So they've been playing some decent football over the last 4 or 5 weeks.
We're still better than them.
Oh, definitely.
Just saying. We are still better than them.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure now. I mean, clearly with Chase Young going down, you're the second best team in the division.
Yep.
Yes.
The problem is the first, but the top team in the division just can fucking do.
We're not catching them.
They can. We're not catching them.
They can do everything. They can run it. They can throw it. Defense. I think the defense is starting to get found out a little bit with Dan Quinn, what he's trying to do. But the thing is, you can just put up so much, and then we kind of seen it with Atlanta. Are we really shocked? You know what I mean? That am I shocked they put up 3 points and that's it? Yeah, but their offensive line wasn't like that. I mean, hell, what did the coach say about Jalen Mayfield the first week of the season? Everybody's got to get baptized sometime. He's going against Fletcher Cox. The kid ain't been right since. You feel what I'm saying? So, we'll see. This is their toughest test this year. So it's some good slate. It's a good slate of games this week. You know, obviously we talked about New Orleans. We all talked about New Orleans getting to us pretty soon. Then you always talk about the Kansas City Chiefs, Dallas. I forget. I mean, is that probably the best marquee game of the week?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Because I don't know who. I don't know. I think Indy has a bye this week, don't they? Or are they playing?
I don't know.
Oh shit! I hope that I didn't look at Jonathan Taylor.
Sure. I do want to mention.
Go ahead.
Ramondre Stevenson.
Oh.
Ball out, young boy.
It's probably one of those things. It took time.
He's also playing behind the Damian Harris. They're not giving him touches. And Damian Harris is active again tonight. And again, I want to preface this by saying I like Damian Harris. I think Damian Harris is a good back. I just think Ramondre Stevenson is better. But of course, Belichick is going to split carries between them two. But we saw what Stevenson can do when he's the guy. He is monster.
Yes.
Monster. I wish he would get more carries. Right now, he's only got this game. He's only got 3 carries, but he went for a big gain. He got 26 total yards on 3 carries. He's a beast. He just he deserves more carries. But I was glad to see him go off last week. It's funny because in my one league, it's a 10-team league, so it's very deep. So you can get good players off the waiver wire. Last second, I was like, you know what? Let me add Ramondre Stevenson because Damian Harris is out. Added him to my roster, and then I was like, should I play him? Should I play him? Should I play him? I put him in, and thank God I did. He got me 20-something points. So it was definitely a good decision. But he's a beast. Jonathan Taylor, you mentioned Jonathan Taylor. Boy, he is a man right now. Best running back.
I didn't know he was that fast, bro.
Yeah. I
knew he was big. I didn't know he was that fast.
He's a track star. He runs borderline 4.3. I said it in my scouting report of him. You probably don't pay attention to my stuff. Wow, I'm hurt.
It was years ago. That was 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was 2 years ago. But man, Jonathan Taylor, what I appreciate about him is that he is my concerns about Taylor were coming out of the draft were his fumbling and his lack of versatility in the passing game. He's done much better in both, and not only that, his rookie season he was having issues with tempo and footwork behind the line of scrimmage and pacing himself, which again I talked about it with Gainwell. Rookies not knowing how to be patient and using proper footwork. It's a rookie thing. It happens sometimes.
Right.
But Taylor has done a masterful job of improving that. Now he's much better. He has much better footwork, and it's showing. His vision is phenomenal. And once he's out in space, he's gone. The guy can run. He's fast. He's 220. Best running back in the league right now is Derrick Henry. But I would argue second best. I think Taylor is making a name for himself as
he may be overtaking Cook's spot. I mean,
he's the guy. Is an afterthought. Such a good runner. So I love that. I love that Taylor has been developing. He's so much fun to watch. I'm glad that he's making plays for the Colts. Anything else we got? You want to move on to the?
Hold on, real quick. Okay. I knew it was another game. Colts Bills is going to be interesting.
Oh yeah, that's right.
In Buffalo, 1:00. Because I'm not that enthralled with the Bills offense. To me, the Bills offense is kind of another one where Josh Allen runs around. They put so much on his plate. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's the
what Baltimore does with Lamar. Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing to where this is going to be a true, it's going to be a true test for the Colts. I think Darius Leonard, he left the game last week a little bit. I'm not sure where his status is, but this is going to be a true game for the Colts and for the Bills as well, because I don't think that they've seen a QB like this. And the last time they played one, I guess you can kind of say Ryan Tannehill and a running back. The Colts are getting healthier. That's the craziest part. They're getting healthier this far into the season. And when you have a balanced coaching staff like the Colts have, and you have, like you said, I'll argue to say that right now, Jonathan Taylor is the hottest running back in the league, in my opinion. You know what I mean? He's just there's really nothing that he can't do. And then when you have Nyheim Hines who can run a wheel route and then beat your linebacker 40 yards down the field, and you got Carson getting confidence again.
Michael Pittman
getting confidence, Zach Pascal. And then you get old man T.Y. that can still run a go route for you. This is going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game.
Yeah. That, and as an Eagles fan, I'll say I think it was Damo who wrote an article for whatever website he's writing for now, said that Carson only has to play 3 more games for the Eagles to get first round pick. So
it's almost there.
Almost there.
He just has to not get COVID, and he'll be good.
Not get COVID and not get hurt.
Not get hurt. Yeah.
Not get hurt. Or, but even if he goes down and he only plays 70% and they make the playoffs, they still get in. We still get it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's still some outs. Hopefully, it doesn't come to that. Let's actually, while we're on that, we're going to do we're going to do the Colts first round pick tracker. Make this thing. We'll make this.
Speaking of the Colts, while you're looking that up, speaking of the Colts, the Hard Knocks, the new Hard Knocks.
Yeah, the end season one.
I started watching it, but I'm only like a few minutes into it.
Okay.
So I don't have a take on it, but it's definitely something I want to watch. It's a good twist. I like it because, depending on the team, Hard Knocks can be a bore to watch because it's the preseason. You're following guys that probably won't be on the team anymore. But with this twist, now it's in season. Like you start to see like what this team goes through in the middle of the year.
Right.
That's a good spin, and whether it's the Colts or anyone else, that's an interesting watch. So I'm very intrigued by how.
Imagine if they did it with Vegas.
Oh man, that would have been drama.
No. So real quick, next two games for the Colts after Sunday: Buccaneers at home, Texans on the road. So let's just So this now did Damo say 3 games not including Sunday?
3 games including Sunday, I believe.
So after this Sunday, 2.
2 more.
Yeah.
Ooh, getting close.
Mm.
Getting real close. Real close. Yes, very
juicy. All right, so I guess it's me, right? Fourth quarter, we'll start a little early.
Let's go.
Start a little early with the fourth quarter. But our fourth quarter is brought to you by Gleason's Bar. It's located at 6700 Mill Creek Avenue in Levittown, PA. Use promo code A2D for 10% off your order whenever you dine in, take out, or order online at GleasonBarandSteaks.com. That's GleasonBarandSteaks. Who think I would misspell steaks? Like that's what I have for dinner. Like how can I misspell steak?
Oh my God.
But no, check him out in Levittown, PA. I think that's a little bit further from me. I think that's even further from you too. Is right. Jeff's not pretty. Jeff's in Allentown.
Yeah,
that's about
like an hour.
Hour
15.
Hour 15. But if you're in that area, if you follow us, go check them out. Use the promo code A2D. Get 10% off your total order. Don't know if it works on the bar. Does it say drinks? Dine in. I mean, maybe count the drinks as well. Get yourself a tall pint or a draft.
It might.
Let's real quick before we jump in the fourth quarter, dude. Like, I'm not into like craft beer. I don't know about you guys. Are you guys into craft beer at all?
I don't drink.
You don't drink at all?
No.
I rarely do. I do it for like very special occasions. Last time I drank was I drank at Disney World because we went to
something had to explain those tears.
Yeah. You're funny.
At our wedding, I had to have grape juice and champagne because I can't stand the taste of it.
We went to Oga's Cantina, which is like the in Galaxy's Edge, the cantina there, where it's one of the hardest places to get a reservation. So I had to drink. I'm there. So I drank one, and of course, in typical Chuck's fashion, I definitely got buzzed off of one drink. So, and before that, the last time I drank was my bachelor party in July of 2019. So it had been like 2.5 years since I drank. But like I drink on special occasions, and but I don't drink a lot. I'm not a beer guy either. I drink. I'm very like feminine when it comes to alcohol. I drink like the fruity drinks. Like I like.
So that was Aaron. That's Aaron would do that. He would, and Tom does that. I mean, Tom likes umbrella in his drinks.
Does he?
Yeah, he likes umbrellas in his drinks.
Yeah.
So
I like the fruity sweet drinks.
I had an IPA. This bitch had 9% of alcohol, like in the beer, dude. In the beer. Like I drunk that son bitch Sunday watching the game, and I was like, dude, like I feel like I just had like 4 shots. Because I don't drink often. I may drink like once a week, and that's usually on a Sunday. But I'm like, yo, how do they have this shit? And it made me feel so heavy. I just don't get it. I don't get it. For the craft beer guys out there, I salute, my hat's off to you. I will stick with my regular Tito's because it's gluten-free. I try to be on the healthier side when I drink. Tito's and diet. If anything else, I'm feeling fancy, I'll get some Tullamore Dew. It's an Irish whiskey. That's tremendously good. I got to keep myself away from it. That's how good it is because if I get it, I'm damn near going to drink the whole bottle because it tastes like nothing. It's just so smooth, so smooth. But yeah, no, I just wanted to bring up the IPA. So, fourth quarter, Eagles Saints, 1:00 at the link. The new Winston. So Sean, is that an actual drink?
Angry Orchard?
I can't.
No, this one. The
This
Wentz
have you ever drank the new Winston margarita? I'm assuming it's blue and white because he plays for the Colts. I don't know. Man, if it is out there, maybe we'll try. If you want to get your girl cheap, take her to Applebee's. Them dollar drinks, them $5 drinks they be having, bro.
Love me some Applebee's after 9, half off apps, baby. And my favorite dessert. They tweaked it now, but my favorite dessert at Applebee's was the not the blondie. They
with the walnuts.
The blondie, man. Whenever I go to Applebee's and they have, you know how they have the tablets now that you can order appetizers and desserts. Whenever you go to Applebee's, I hop on the tablet, I order the dessert first, and I scarf that down. Like you should watch me. You should ask Mary. You should watch me. It is a sight to behold because I can scarf that blondie down.
So you eat it before your dinner?
Yes, I am a sweets person.
Wow.
I eat. It's the weirdest thing. If I eat ice cream, I get hungrier. So
you are weird.
I am weird. So I eat the blondie first so I can build up my appetite. And plus, like, I hate going out to eat and not being able to have room for dessert. So I go to Applebee's, I order the dessert first. My favorite item, I order it first. I eat that. I scarf it down in less than a minute. I inhale it. And then I go on to the half off apps. It's my routine. I love it. It's my favorite dessert.
It's my routine. Like this is my game plan when I get in here.
Applebee's, you know what it is.
You're as bad as me at Texas Roadhouse.
And plus,
I've never had a dessert from Texas Roadhouse at all.
I've had the dessert. I just eat since it's unlimited rolls, I just scarf down thousands of baskets of rolls and then take my dinner home with me. One time my waitress asked because I didn't touch my burgers, like, is there something wrong with it? I'm like, nope, I'm just full. I'm going to get it to go.
That's like my kids. They love the butter, bro.
It's so smart, though.
Oh, the garlic butter. Oh, my goodness, man.
Yeah. Texas Roadhouse is really good, too. But real quick, the tablets at Applebee's, and if you've been to Philly Airport, you know those restaurants where they have, like, the tablets at the counters? Yo, that crap was my idea, okay? Years ago, way back, I was talking to my brother-in-law and my sister and Mary. We were talking, and I was like, yo, restaurants should have tablets. You know, you should have a tablet at your table where you can order stuff and do stuff. Even at a sports bar, you have a tablet where you can log in and track your fantasy scores from the tablet as you're watching the games. Having a tablet at restaurants is genius. And then a year later, I go to the Philly airport and I see that they have the tablets at the restaurants. When I go to Applebee's, I see the tablet. I'm like, gosh, damn it!
Pat, as soon as you had an idea, you got to mock something up and file a patent.
I know.
File a patent.
I know.
So that way, no one can take it from you. You can sell the idea, but anybody makes a modification off of that patent, you get royalties for the rest of your life.
Exactly. Oh God, I'm so.
But no, great talk, great food talk. I think that I'll say this. I think Chili's has the best 2 for $25 menu, and that dessert at the end is ridiculous. It's a blonde. It's something similar to the blondie, but it's a brownie. And I'm very big on hot and cold contrast. Like if you give me a warm brownie or a warm cookie and cold ice cream or hot pie and cold, and I'm like the same way with salty and sweet.
Yep.
The contrast is just crazy.
Masterful combination. Absolutely. Yeah.
You get the loaded mashed potatoes with the chives and the scallions and the bacon and the cheese, and you get a nice little 8-ounce sirloin flat iron steak. Plus, you get dessert, and you spend like $35, especially if your lady want to drink. You can't beat that. Anytime, and you could take your lady out for a drink, and she can have a drink, or for food, and she can have a drink. It's good. Another touchdown?
No. Claude Giroux tied it up. 8 seconds left. 8 seconds left. Tied it up at 3. Claude Giroux.
Oh, okay. Who are we playing? The Penguins?
No, the Lightning.
Oh, ooh.
Close game. Yeah, it's a
close game. They won back-to-back cups, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Who needs hockey in fucking Florida? Do some other shit. Do some other shit. But listen, so Sunday at the link, 1:00. I'm just going to say it. I'll get it started off. We got about 25 minutes left. I think it's a win. I will say this: I can't remember the last time I've been scared about the Saints offense or not scared about the Saints offense, and I just don't think they have enough. I don't think they have enough, and I'm not big on Trevor Siemian. You're gonna get the little mix up with Taysom Hill, and the way this team is playing right now, the confidence that they have. Daly says he went to go see Ghostbusters. I want to see that. I was looking for it today.
Oh God,
I heard it's pretty good. No spoilers, Daly. Just give us your grade in the chat. Give us your grade. Yeah. But no, so I think it's a win. Now I will say this: we spent so much time talking about it in the second quarter when we talked about the Eagles or Broncos recap. How high they're playing right now? Trust me, we're going to have a reset game. We're going to have a step back game. It's bound to happen. I don't want it to happen this week, but it's going to happen at some point. So prepare yourself for it. I just think with this team and the history between these two teams in the last 3 or 4 years, there's no problem getting up for this game. There's no problem getting up for this game for the players on the team for both sides. And like me and Chuck says, I can't fucking stand the Saints. I cannot stand them bitches. I hate them with a passion. I wish I looked at the temperature. It's supposed to be 57. I wish it was going to be 25 the fuck outside.
I know, right?
You know what I mean? I can't stand them. I don't like them. I know they got Jawan Johnson from Glassboro, South Jersey's own. Listen, brother, nothing against you personally. I follow you on TikTok. Your videos are very entertaining. But bitch, come here and get this L. Come here and get this L on Sunday.
Jawan, you want to be a hometown hero? When you catch the ball, fumble it. You'll be a hometown hero. There you go.
And to be honest with you, I think I can see someone like that being interested because he's a bigger, more athletic version of Tyree Jackson. I mean, that's my opinion. But that's neither here or there. Getting into the game, how I see the game playing out, it's going to be kind of the same thing. It's going to be a defensive battle. I believe. Traquan Smith, Vontae Maddox. I'm not concerned with Vontae Maddox in the slot. He's having his best year as a pro right now, in my opinion. Marquez Callaway on the outside. I think Darius Slay may float with him. I don't even know who the other outside corner is. I mean, outside wide receiver they had. I know it's Traquan Smith, Marquez Callaway,
and I don't know. To be honest,
I don't. And then especially if Kamara doesn't play, if Kamara's a no-go,
and he had a setback too. He was limited yesterday and out today, so that's
out today. So he had a setback. So it's the MCL sprain. So MCL sprains. It hurts for my fucking fantasy team, but I'm 3-7 in this one league anyway. It's an 18 league. I'm only one spot out of first. I could sacrifice another week to lose because I probably can get in with like 9-8 or some shit like that, or 8-9 or some shit like that. So, but no, for real. I mean, I see this game based on how these teams are playing, and this is the second week in a row that the Saints have to travel. Now, I'm interested to see, did they go back home to New Orleans? I mean, it's not that far from Tennessee because they were on the road against.
Sure, yeah, good question.
And then come back out again. I mean, it's just a lot on the team. I really think now I will say this: they need the game more than us. If you look at what the outlook for the season and expectations was, they need the game more than us. But at the same time, just because you need the game more than us, bitch, we need to win at home. That fan base on Sunday is thirsty for a win in that stadium. Thirsty for a win in that stadium. It's going to be rocking the way, especially the way they played the last week, coming off that win against Denver. It's going to be tough for the Saints, and I want the fans to make it tough. You know what I mean? Yep. Ultimately, this will get them to 5-6 if they get this win. If the Eagles get this win, and then now next week they have the Giants, I believe.
Yep, Giants on the road.
On the road. I mean, I'm not concerned with. I mean, that's just another divisional game. Not really concerned with that.
Remember, the Meadowlands.
Right. I think the team is on to something. Two out of three wins for the last 3 weeks. Had a very good chance to be 3-0, three win streak with the Chargers as well. But you lost that one. Got back off the snide last week and Sunday against Denver, and keep that momentum rolling. And I'm better quarterback. I think it's the first time he said that this year. For better quarterback going into the game versus Trevor Siemian.
Mm-hmm.
Healthier team. Playing better right now. Should be no reason. I won't say no reason. I expect you to win this game. That's how I feel. I don't see a way out of us losing the game or giving a poor performance that the Saints can beat us. I just don't think the Saints can line up X and beat us X's and O's. I think we have more talent available right now.
I agree. I say I agree with you. We have more talent, but the X factor really in this game is going to come down to coaching. It's going to come down to Sean Payton and Nick Sirianni. Who's going to have the better game plan this coming week? And I do agree with you. I feel we are the better football team right now. Look, and that's the thing that matters. What do we talk about year in and year out heading into the playoffs? Which team is on the hot streak? Which team is having the momentum? And right now, that's us. I'll say the Saints right now, ever since losing Jameis Winston, they lost 2 in a row. They're still trying to find fix their quarterback situation, which nothing against Simonin. He's played well so far the last couple of weeks. 5 touchdowns over the last 2 games, so he's playing pretty well. It's just he's a game manager. It's gonna come down to which quarterback is the better game manager, and I have more faith right now in Jalen Hurts than I do Trevor Simonin. So it's gonna be a tough task for Jalen Hurts. Last week we talked about the Denver Broncos defense. I kind of feel this week's game is gonna be a tougher defense than the Denver Broncos. You have to remember in last week's game, they were without their one of their inside linebackers got hurt early. Patrick Surtain was banged up into that game. A lot of their star defensive players were banged up heading to that game, so they weren't fully healthy. Where this week they have Demario Davis. They have Malcolm Jenkins, who's still playing at a decent level at his age and is still a leader on that defense. So it's going to be interesting to see how Jalen Hurts can if he can build that momentum and build that confidence that he had last week against Denver going into this week. And if he balls out and plays as well as he does, I honestly don't see anyone stopping us the rest of the way. And we are going to be talking about playoffs if that's the case. This is the game they have to get over the hump if they are truly a playoff team in my eyes. So I do have the Eagles winning this one. We have to get out the schneid somewhere. And why not against a team? We finally got our first win last week against a team with a winning record. Now we're going to get our first home win in over almost a year. So I do have the Eagles winning this game.
First of the year. Absolutely. The key thing here for me this game is our running attack against the run defense. The run defense, I believe, was the first and is tops in the league. Mm-hmm. And some fans might be like, okay, like we're not going to be able to run the ball. We have to find a different way to win. It's going to be tougher, but the way I see it, the past few weeks, we've been the best rushing team in the league.
Yep. So
when you are a good team, you don't let other teams force you out of it.
Force them to stop what you're doing well.
Exactly. You do what you do, and then you say, my strength is better than your strength. And I want to see that. Do not shy away from the run. If Miles is back, use both Miles and Jordan Howard. They are good backs. Miles is a great back. Jordan Howard is a good back. Use them and keep momentum going from what Hurts was doing. The way you played against Denver, you absolutely can beat the Saints. And I believe they will. I do believe – I don't have a score, but I do believe that the Eagles will pull it out and will win this week. And then once we do, we will be on the radar. We, like you said, I think on Tapehead's today's episode.
I haven't listened to today's yet.
Yeah, they talked about the Eagles, and Bob Wischusen, he was saying that like he sees the Eagles because of their schedule and the way they're playing now. He sees the Eagles as a playoff team. Orlovsky and
Pioli,
they were a little like pump the brakes. We'll see. But Orlovsky was like, I can see it. But Orlovsky said like he doesn't think it's a crazy take. And let's we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves because anything can still happen. Who knows? Like, God forbid, like we could see Jalen Hurts get hurt, or like our offensive line, Jason Kelsey and Lane Johnson could get hurt, and after that, like that's a huge loss. So we don't know week to week what can happen, but.
Definitely, but you can look at the schedules, you can look at the teams you're playing and the level of competition. And right now, I think we have the third easiest schedule down this last stretch of games. So we just have to get over this Saints game. We have to see how we play. If we play another dominating fashion football game, granted, anything can happen in the NFL. The Giants typically do play us tough, But on paper, we're
Yeah.
clicking and gelling at the right time, and that's right before playoffs.
Yeah. I mean,
So
very
Ryan,
well said.
homer take, get off your high horse.
I mean, this looking at it for this, even for me, looking at it from an outside view, just look at the way the teams have been playing. I mean, Tampa Bay in New Orleans, Superdome, that's a divisional game. You're going to be up for that. Tough game on the road against Tennessee. They had their chances to win the game. They did. I'm not going to lie. But they didn't pull it out. You know, it was a critical roughing the passer call. Very touchy against Tannehill after Tannehill threw a pick in the end zone. The defense is tough. I'm not going to say that. But like Chuck said, make them stop what you're doing well. If they are able to stop it, then I'll say all bets are off, because then you got to make Jalen Hurts drop back and throw more than you want. But then the other thing is, somebody said that they do stop the run. Terrell Crisp said that what did they do when they stopped the run? I won't say dick and dump, but take advantage of the short passing game. Take advantage, make their linebackers cover some tight ends. Figure out a way to make it happen. You know, I don't think you can big play this defense. But I also say Devontae Smith can do everything. I want to see him just as much. I want to see Jalen Hurts continue his maturation. I want to see Devontae continue his maturation. He's going against Marshawn Lattimore. So with that, you know, I just think you have different ways. You have a skill set enough on the offense to put up points. Score wise, I think it's going to be a little. I don't know what the over is, over under is. I think it's going to be low.
It's low.
I'm about to say take the under. I'm thinking maybe like 20-17 game, 20-14, kind of 20-13. Because I just think both defenses are right now are some of the strongest units. I can't believe I'm saying about the Eagles defense, but I'm saying that against this team because I don't see it on the offensive side. I don't see it on the offensive side for them. So not scared of Trevor Siemian, or Jeff called him Cinnamon.
I suck at pronouncing names, so but it's better than the other word.
Right. But once again, the offensive line, the Saints, I don't know what the health is, but we need pressure with the defensive line. The defensive line can get pressure. They can get Trevor Siemian off his spot. We all see what Trevor Siemian was in Denver. We all see what he was in Denver. Still the same guy. Now, if Jameis was coming to this game, it's a different story. They obviously don't trust Taysom Hill enough. They're going to switch you. They're going to try to hit you with that switch up, especially on offense with Taysom Hill. So may try to take advantage of some big plays. Just got to stay key and got to execute. You know, execution-wise, I like the way our team is playing coming into this game. I'll give us a 6 out of 10 chance, 60%, better than 50% to win this game on Sunday. Could they lose the game? Very well. It's any given Sunday. This year has completely shown you that. Any given Sunday, any team can beat any team. So, but for this game, I definitely like our chances. I don't think Jeff has a homer take. I just think he's confident in his team from what they've seen and what they put on tape the last 2 weeks.
This comment, how god awful the defense has been. Has he been watching the same team that we have? Yeah, they haven't been perfect, but over the last month stretch, they have put this team in position to have a chance to win football games. Yeah, they let them down against the Chargers by allowing that game-winning field goal, but they still, I felt, did enough to try to have them win that football game.
No one wants to mention the turnovers, right? The turnovers that they forced, no one wants to mention them.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Like this whole thing. Whenever opposing fans come on and say, "Oh, you're a homer," like, so what? We're not supposed. If we do believe that our team can win against another team, it's automatically a homer take.
Right.
And I didn't come in here
to say that. How many times have we predicted the Eagles to lose? Last week, I said the Eagles would lose.
Yeah.
So it's not a homer take. If you've actually been listening to us the past few weeks, just because we think the Eagles can win this week doesn't mean we're homers. It's just.
And I didn't come in here and said that they're going to the Super Bowl just because they're winning a couple of games against teams they probably should be. I didn't say that. I'm saying that we're a team that's sitting at 4-6 with the victory this week at 5-6 for how lousy the NFC has been. They have a strong, legitimate chance to be a playoff team. I didn't say we're beating the Cowboys. I didn't say we're winning the NFC East. We are probably at best be a wild card team, and then we can talk about and see what happens based off the last 8 games. So come back at me in a couple months and call me a homer then, and we'll start discussing that.
Bam!
Fired up.
Fired up.
Man,
Fired
I
up.
tell you, he came for your neck, Jeff. He came for your
Yeah,
neck.
fight back, Jeff.
Apparently.
Hell yeah.
I mean,
Right,
we all kind of said the same thing. Like, I think we wanted to save it to the end, but we all kind of had that same. We were laying those seeds, planting those seeds so the flowers can grow. To like, we really believe that this team has a chance to win on Sunday, and sometimes there's just things that are out of your control. It's this thing called momentum. You know what I mean? Who has the momentum right now? And do the Saints have the team to be able to take that momentum away from us? If it starts to roll downhill, do the Saints have that momentum? Do they have that team? Because it's not Drew Brees on the other side. It's not Michael Thomas on the other side. It's not Emmanuel Sanders on the other side. And once again, the biggest thing is if Kamara doesn't play, and you have Mark Ingram, who, while as good as he is at what he does, he's a one-dimensional back. Can he catch stuff out of the backfield? Yeah, he can. But at the same time, this defense, once again, and what generally plays better at home than it does versus the road? The defense. The energy now is going to be on their side while they're on the field trying to throw their offensive side off. And once again, I understand. I said, can the defense get the big stop? They got the big stop. They got the big stop on Sunday because they not only did they get the big stop on Sunday against Denver, they also turned it into points. I mean, you can't ask for anything more than that. Only concern. So Jeremiah Butler, once again, thank you for the $4.99. Appreciate the dono. He says, only concern is, do we commit to the fundamentals, and how does Gannon scheme? I need to see the team be consistent, because we've seen consistent be bad sometimes. I guess that's what he's saying, being inconsistent, the opposite.
Yeah.
I mean, but like Jeff said, for the last 4 games, the defense has not, in my opinion, been the problem.
Nope.
44-6 against Detroit, 27-24. If you say you're giving up 27 points to the Chargers and Justin Herbert, that's the biggest thing. Gave up 27 points to the Chargers, right? 2 4th down stops, and Justin Herbert still had an 80% completion percentage. You mean to tell me your defense is the reason? With those stats, you would think they would give it way more than 27 points. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yeah, that should have been on the 30s or 40s.
Exactly. And then last week, I mean, you caught Denver in a good time. You really did, because they had their biggest win of the year, feeling themselves, have a team coming in that was 3-6. That hasn't been put anything on tape that's really good against any team with a winning record. I'm honestly say we caught Denver with their guard down. Now, with that being said, Denver did fight back. You forget it was like I stated before, Darius Slay ran that touchdown back. Them bitches was on their way to put up another point, whether it was a field goal or was it going to be a touchdown.
They tied it up too. The Eagles got up to a 10-0 lead, and then they came back and tied it up 10-10 at one point.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So now this game is it's levels to this shit. It's levels. Now it's another team that's a proven coaching staff. Some players, best unit is the defense. Your best unit right now with the most skill set and the highest talent is on the offense. You know what I mean? So it's going to be that fight of who's going to break. Who's going to break? Is it going to be their defense? Is it going to be our offense? Now, Jaylen, he can make plays off schedule. He caught him off guard last year because it was his first true start. He did a lot of scrambling, did a lot of running around. Will they call that now? Do they spy him now? If they spy him now, you got weapons that can beat him. Maybe you do something. I mean, Jalen Reagor had caught one pass, so maybe you incorporate him more into the game plan. We'll see. That the one thing I can't say is I'm consistently seeing the same tone be set by the coaching staff. So I have expectations going into this game. And based off those expectations, I feel as if this team should and could win the game. Now, I believe the Eagles are favored, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, 1.5 point favorites.
Okay, so they're not even getting the home team 3. But guess what? Vegas has shown you that they're starting to have more faith in this team as well. And once again, like I said, like Flash Messi says, fuck the Saints. Listen, them bitches, ever since they played Meek Mill in the locker room after they beat us in 2018, fuck them bitches.
Oh, I've hated them longer.
You want to sit there and play our shit and troll us when you got Lil Wayne, you got the Hot Boy, you got Juvenile on them, but no, you want.
And what did that do? What did that get them? That got them nothing.
Nothing.
They got them nothing.
Crying.
Showed again every single season. So I've hated the Saints since like 2006. Hated them.
When they beat us with Jeff Garcia, when we had Jeff Garcia.
Oh God, I hated them since then.
Who was the quarterback? Was Drew the quarterback at that year too? No.
Yeah, it was Drew.
It was Drew?
That was his first year.
Yeah, Drew Brees. Deuce McAllister and Reggie Bush. God, I couldn't
Bush
stand
got
him.
laid out by Sheldon.
Yeah. I thought that was the game. When that play, when we laid out Reggie, when Sheldon laid out Reggie, I was like, oh, we win in this game.
Yeah.
God damn. I couldn't stand Reggie Bush either, by the way. Overrated. But that's neither here nor there. We're winning.
Yeah.
So, guys, we got about 4 or so minutes left. Let's go no huddle. Let's do this. All right? No huddle. And it's brought to you by where is it? Oh, sorry. Brought to you by Sunrise Detox and Addiction. Many of us and our families deal with mental health and addiction issues. We are happy to support the Counseling Center and Sunrise Detox. If you need mental health therapy or addiction detox, please call 856-651-8117. Tell them Tom from A2D sent you. All right, guys. So I'm gonna start this off because I talked about it at the top of the show, and I want to get like conversation going. All right. So first of all, and I know Jeff, you didn't see it, but I finally saw Shang-Chi. Amazing. Loved it. Really, really good. A good portrayal of Western culture that the Asian kung fu kind of setting with the movies and everything. A lot of people complain about CGI and how it looked. I'm like, that's how CGI looks in a lot of martial arts movies.
Right.
Like they did a good job incorporating that. I thought it was great. I thought the characters were great. And the fighting was excellent fighting. I saw this one article earlier today that said the fifth act of the movie was the weak point because of how they switched the antagonist. And I'm trying not to spoil too much for you, Jeff. They switched up the antagonist, and then like they didn't like how it's so much CGI, which they're like it so much of the major battles in MCU films before are CGI based, a lot of CGI, and they keep doing that. So it's like it's a knock against Shang-Chi. Like it doesn't make sense to me. Like so it's okay for previous films that do that, but for Shang-Chi it's an issue. I don't agree with that. I thought the third act was great. I loved it. Pete, I think you saw it before, right? Like months ago.
I went to the movie theater and seen it. Yeah. I saw it the first weekend it was out.
Yeah. So I loved it. I thought it was great.
I mean, the CGI was good. The lines at that, and I don't know, I forget the name of the place that they went where they had that. It only opens up one time, and if you don't make the right turn, bitch, that's your ass.
Oh, yeah.
The lines was good. The CGI was good. The storyline was good. It was well thought out. It didn't feel slow at any point. How they incorporated with the 10 rings, and it's the bigger picture, resetting the table for it. I definitely Shang-Chi was good, but glad you saw it. It wasn't the biggest Marvel news of the week. Obviously, we had the Spider-Man trailer No Way Home come out on Tuesday.
Yeah, you saw that, right?
We saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
So I just listen. This bitch better live up to the hype.
Oh boy.
I'm glad they updated Electro though, because the Electro from the movie was absolutely garbage. At least this one's more to the comics and the cartoon.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen the No Way Home trailer, the new one, go check it out. There's a lot of different ways they can go with this. And I just can't wait. Is it the official release date like the 23rd or something like that? Or is it the weekend before?
Week before, it's the 17th or whatever that Friday is.
So yeah, I mean, we'll definitely be there. I know we're trying to coordinate a way to so we can all see it and enjoy it together. Somehow, some way. But it's definitely a must. It's definitely a must see. Haven't seen Eternals yet. I've not seen that yet. I've heard I'm really not missing anything so much outside of the post-credit scenes and stuff. I'll give you guys a recommendation though. If you have Netflix, go watch The Harder They Fall.
I'm watching it now.
I thought you were going to tell me the Rock movie that just came out because everyone's freaking revved up about that.
No, I watched that too. It was fun. It was a fun.
No, The Harder They Fall with Idris Elba, Jonathan Majors, who we all know as Kang the Conqueror from Loki, also from Lovecraft Country. Great actor, great cast, great soundtrack. It's amazing.
Soundtrack's phenomenal so far. I'm like 45 minutes into it. I love the soundtrack.
Yeah, and I literally start watching it at like 11 o'clock at night, and it's a 2.5 hour long movie, and I didn't feel like it was slow at any point.
Yeah.
It was almost too fast. I'm like, this can't. Like it almost felt like it was hitting its peak. And I'm like, it can't. Like, how can we hit our peak that quick? But they did it. It was really good. It was very well thought out. Last but not least, before we get out of here, we always say these things. We try to be conscious and we try to be somewhat keeping our ears to what's going on and trending topics. I'm pretty sure the fam out there has seen the Zach Stacy video that came out today. There's never a reason to lay your hands on any man or female like that. I mean, I don't know where whole boy is at now. I hope he gets the help that he needs. I hope that young female and the child get away from him as fast as possible. Get away. And hopefully when somebody does that, it generally isn't the first time.
Yeah.
You
can tell.
It generally wasn't the first time. So I'm glad it was caught this time to put an end to it. I hope it doesn't affect the child moving forward. I hope it doesn't affect the mother moving forward. And I hope he gets the help that he deserves. And gets the punishment he deserves. I mean, because there's no call for that. I can't, like, I don't want to dive into it too deep, but I had some choice words when I first saw it, and I still feel that same type of way. You know what I mean? Yeah. CTEs, I don't understand how you cannot do CTE test on someone that is alive, because there's a lot of people out there who's walking around with it. And I just don't think it's football. I think it also could be linked to PTSD for our veterans as well. You know, if an IED goes off, and I mean, that's blaring. If you're around explosions a lot, concussions a lot, that could be blaring. That could be definitely detrimental to your health. So keep your hands to yourself. Pray for those who may be that you may feel that may not be in a safe relationship. And go Birds, man. That's all I got. That's all I got to say at the end. That's really it.
Absolutely. Jeff, anything to add?
No, just enjoy Sunday's game. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. If we don't speak to you before then, and go Birds.
Yeah, absolutely. We won't have a show next week because it will be Thanksgiving.
Turkey Day. Football in the morning.
Yeah, watch football. But we will see you the week after. So 2 weeks from now, enjoy the Eagles States game. Enjoy the Eagles Giants game. Enjoy the Thanksgiving games. And we wish you, since we won't be here next week, let us say from Birds of a Feather, from myself, from Pete, from Jeff, from Tom, the big guy, from Chrome, everyone at A2D, we thank all of you for supporting us, listening to us. You know, it's one thing if we were on here talking amongst the three of us about football, but what really helps, what really makes this so much fun is getting your feedback, getting your input, your comments, and having that conversation. Because agree or disagree, no matter what, that's why we're here, to have fun with conversation. And that's what we love to do. We love talking football. We love talking sports. And we thank you, the fam, for everything you've done for this station, for our show, and for all of us. So on Thanksgiving, we send out a heartfelt thank you to all of you. God bless to you guys. God bless, and thank you to all our sponsors too that are rocking with us and representing our brand. We thank you guys for supporting us. So for myself, for Pete, for Jeff, go Birds, beat the Saints, run it with Miles, run it with Howard, run all over the yard, beat the Saints. Have a good Thanksgiving, everyone. We'll see you. God bless. Peace out.
Peace.